Hi YouTube. Let's do a video on this protein here. It's something you take when you work out. It helps to build muscle. Protein, it's a protein powder. You mix it up and drink it. This one is chocolate. It tastes like a chocolate milkshake. Okay, so just to give you a look at the label here, you can go to GNC website and look it up, and you can actually download the label as a PDF if you want to look at the details. I just happened to catch this one on sale, plus I had a coupon, so I got a good deal. Okay, so let's talk about a few things that I think are good in here. Okay, let's talk about a few things in here that I think are good. Let's see here. It's a whey protein. There's different types of protein, but whey would be the main one. I think it's made out of eggs. You'll see proteins made out of different types of things, you know. So usually you buy the whey. Here they're saying 24 grams of protein per serving. If you look at the label here in the back, you know, one scoop, you get 24 grams protein. In general, they say 25 grams is like a serving of what you should take. Some bodybuilders take way more, but in general they say 25 grams is one standard serving per person per day. But most people like to do more. So what you have to be careful with these is you buy a big jug, right? And then you'll see up here one serving will be 3 or 4 scoops, and you still only get 24 grams of protein. So you have to take 3 or 4 scoops in order to get the 24 grams. So this is nice because one scoop you get the full 24 grams. So they aren't playing games here. Here they've got different types of protein, isolate and hydroisolate. Isolate would be the better one. That's why they're putting it first here. That just means it's purified, you know, you digest it better. You know, I haven't seen that one before. Well, and then that would be the step up from the isolate. That would be really, I think they call it micronized. You know, they make it real small so your body can absorb it better. And then here they have, it says, plus micro and ultra filtered protein to support lean muscle. That's what they're talking about here. The hydro isolate is micro and ultra filtered. So my main thing is here, there's two different types of protein here. You know, what people do is they combine two different types of protein in one shaker. You know, they'll have one jug of whey and one jug of isolate, and then they'll mix them. Here you don't have to mix them because they're both already in here. So that's nice. Here they're adding more stuff. It's not just proteins. They're adding other types of workout powders here. Just in the last year or so, they're starting to realize that these BCAAs, it's probably the most important workout powder. It's just a vitamin. It's the aminos, BCAAs. There's many different types of aminos. I don't know for sure, but I think there's like maybe 15, 20, and like 7 or 8 of them are the real important ones. So here they're saying 5 grams of aminos per serving. So what's that mean? You don't have to go out and buy a separate jug. They've already added it inside here. And it has glutamine. Glutamine is one of the BCAAs. Is probably the most important one. It's to build muscle. You can actually go out and buy a separate jug of glutamine. It's just a white powder. And then this here, the enzymes. I was kind of surprised to see that in a protein powder. What the enzymes do is it helps your stomach break down the food so you can absorb it better. There's different types of enzymes. You know, here they're saying this is the digestive enzymes. It's the ones that work in your stomach. So that's kind of cool. The enzymes are just getting popular the last 6 months or so. It's kind of a hype thing, you know. But it's cool that it's in here. Okay, so that's why they have this: 24 grams protein, 5 grams of aminos, 4 grams of glutamine, 4 grams of carbs. Why would they put carbs in here, right? And 75 servings. Well, the carbs just gives you the energy to get to your workout. Okay. And then here they're saying daily. You can take a daily post workout. Lots of people work it, drink it before, during, after. I know I've seen on some of the doctor shows, they actually give protein to their kids. They give them a protein shake first thing in the morning. And then if you've had a hard workout during the day, you take a protein shake at night before you go to bed. It helps your muscles build during the night while you're sleeping, because that should be a good 7 or 8 hours. You're not doing nothing, you're just sleeping. But if you take a protein shake before you go to bed, then your muscles can be building better. So. Okay, so just to run through some of this stuff here. What makes Amplified Gold 100% whey protein advanced and a new gold standard? The premium formulation of Amplified Gold 100% whey protein advantage begins with the very first ingredient on the label, whey. So it's a whey isolate protein. By using the whey isolate as our leading protein source, we're able to pack 24 grams of our fastest acting lean muscle building protein. And so lean, why are they saying lean here? Well, you're not going to gain a lot of weight. You know, lots of proteins that you buy have lots of calories. You know, sometimes you want that. You know, you want to burn calories during your workout. People want to put on weight when they gain muscle. You know, but here you're saying lean, so you don't just put on fat. You put on lean muscle, not fat. So that's why this is nice here. It's only 120 calories per scoop. So that's probably the first thing that I look at when I pick a protein. You know, I look at per serving, 1 scoop, 120 calories. Low sugar. It's only 1 gram of sugar here, 4 grams carbs. I'm mainly looking at the sugar here. 24 grams protein. Salt's a little high, but it's not bad. It's 60 milligrams. So those are the main things that I look at. You know, of course, there's a lot going on here, but if I see something that's high calories or high sugar or salt, I usually avoid it. What they'll do is they add a lot of sugar to them, because then you have energy to get to your workout. You know, that's one of the main reasons why they add sugar. But they also add it to make it taste better. You know, people always complain about the protein not tasting good. You know, or even some of the other powders that you drink when you're working out. You know, well, they add a lot of sugar or they add a lot of salt, and then they taste better. You know, the American diet, we're used to tasting sugar and salt. If you take out the sugar and the salt, most Americans won't like it. One good example there is go over and buy a pumpkin pie that doesn't have sugar. You know, it probably won't taste good to you. Okay, so that's why they put lean muscle here. You know, it doesn't have a lot of calories. Filter out the impurities. Well, I hope so, right? Amazing taste, so it's going to taste good. It has the branched chain amino acids, BCAAs. That's the fancy name for the aminos. BCAAs, branched chain amino acids, plus key enzymes and vital nutrients to maximize the amino acid absorption. See, the absorption is the enzymes breaking down in your stomach so you can absorb the protein better. Okay, and then this is just more of the same stuff here. And then here they're saying here's some other things that you might want to add. So, some proteins will have a creatine included. Creatine helps your muscles get bigger. I've read that most athletes will take a creatine daily. It's a real popular supplement. But what creatine does is it helps your muscles absorb water, so they look bigger. So, but there's not a creatine in this one, but in some of the other GNCs there is. So they just didn't include it here. So usually, if you're trying to lose weight, you wouldn't really want to take a creatine. That's what I was told, because then your muscles are absorbing more water. Okay, here's a list of the aminos. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. There's 18 of them here. So there's a few here that I recognize. The leucine, I think, is probably the most important one, or the most popular one that you'll see. Isoleucine and leucine. There's the glutamine, and there's just a bunch of scientific names here. Here they're saying how to take it. You can stir it, you can shake it, you can blend it. You'll see people doing all kind of things with these. You know, you just put it in water and drink it, or you can add milk, or you can make a shake with all kind of things. You know, one common thing is they'll stick a half of banana in the blender and a scoop of protein, or throw it in a blender. Or you can go on the web. There's all types of recipes. You know, you can make protein shakes, protein muffins, and so on. You know, I usually just put it in water and drink it. You know. Here's the directions on how to take it. Amplified gold, 100% whey, instantly mixes. Oh, you hope so, right? Usually a protein clumps up. You know, when I first got into this stuff, I just used a mayonnaise jar. And you put this stuff in a mayonnaise jar with water, and you can shake it for hours, and it's just one big ball of slime inside that jar. So go out and get yourself a shaker. There's all different brands. You know, make sure it's got something like this inside there, because that silver ball in there, that's what's going to actually do the mixing. You know, you can put a stir in there and shake that thing forever. It's not going to mix up, but with this thing, it really works. Buy 2 or 3 of them, because if you drop it, it's going to break, and then you don't have to worry about it. You can catch them on sale. So sometimes they go as low as $5 or more. I usually mark my shakers with what I put in them. Like here, I got this one marked for P for protein. And then I usually put my initials on them too. Because if you go to the gym and you leave it sitting around the machines or the weights, there's other people there that might have the same type of shaker, so then you can tell it's yours. With the protein shaker though, this stuff really sticks to the sides, so that's why it's nice to use the same shaker for protein, and then like maybe once a week wash it out good. I usually just put like a teaspoon of bleach in there and use a bottle brush, and that usually cleans it up pretty good. Sometimes if it's really thick here on the sides, you know, you scrape it with a butter knife, it comes off. But I usually don't bother to wash it daily, just like once a week is fine. Okay, so what's this stuff let's see here. We can open this up here. Now, some of you out there might be saying 1 scoop, right? It says you take 1 scoop, right? What's a scoop? Right? In every jug of powder that you buy, there's a plastic thing. It's a big plastic spoon. Okay, that's nice. It's double sealed. And it's usually down in there somewhere. So somehow we have to get it out of there. Okay, so we're getting lucky here. So there's a scoop for this one here. I usually save my scoopers, and I usually never take a full scoop. You know, I usually use a smaller scooper. So. Okay, so just to give you a general idea of how this stuff works, I'll mix it up in here so you can see what's going on. I'm just gonna go with the half a scoop now. So here's half a scoop, and I'll put it in there. You can see it's just it looks like chocolate milk. Usually with any type of workout powder, only go with chocolate or fruit punch. There might be a few other flavors that taste good to you, but for me, I usually go chocolate or fruit punch. Not fruit punch protein, right? But chocolate, protein, and then the other powders. You know, the BCAAs and the creatines and things like that. I go with fruit punch. I've tried a few of the other ones, and some of them really stink. So you can see that did mix up pretty good. So there's no clumps at all. Okay. Tastes pretty good too. Just tastes like chocolate powder in water. It's not really sticking to the glass. You know, some proteins really stick. I mean, you really got to scrub them to get them off. Okay, cool. So usually though, I just put it in a shaker. Carrot. Usually I just put it in a shaker and carry it throughout the day, or carry it at the gym. You know. while I'm cutting the grass or something. Sometimes I'll get a vanilla and I'll use it for my cereal in the morning. Yeah, I just put a little water, vanilla, protein in a coffee cup here, mix it up, and throw some whole wheat cereal in there, and I'm good to go. Okay. See ya. Bye.